am ready.
Well, I was gonna say your name is gonna show up, but your name is already in the chat also.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so we have specifically equip session, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure equip, and that's like I just put everything here, so you will see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have to go as in depth on specific topics. I guess I can ask you, what were the main questions that you had? Because you did the 5, 10, 15. Did you have questions after that?
Well, I did only like throw about a 10 bill. I'm trying to get like 80 bill in for SSF.
Okay.
So I just dropped like about 7 bill on my main, 3 bill on my Night Lord. I got a 21 Super Ring.
Okay.
So that's like I didn't want to risk it because I have no backups and no nothing. So and I boomed like 6 KTs from 17 to 18. So fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, unlucky. No.
And that's it for my gains. I think. Oh, and I got 5 set arcanes. I had 1 Abzo, so now I'm 5 set arcanes. So
Okay,
that's
nice.
it. Yeah, not too many gains right now for my Hoyoung. Just leveling gains in general as well. Like push to 270, trying to push to
Nice.
275.
Yeah, I think you were 268, right? Last week when you.
268. Yeah. Like.
Yeah. Very nice.
And as you see, I have like honor waiting. Trying to get my like preferred inner ability, like for damage. That's +1 skills, and that's it. Like for now, for like my really close plans, like for Dreamer and SSF is probably like. I guess getting spares and trying to get as high as I can, because Arcanes is probably my lowest priority right now, because I have like 19 CRAs, if you can see in the doc.
Yep.
And that's definitely like my #1 priority, getting it 22.
Yeah. Or maybe 21 first, right? And then see where you're at with everything else.
Yeah, and then maybe I can do it like 21, and then that's.
So you got like Arcanes to 17, right? That's gonna cost something.
Yeah. I got just my shoulder is 16. I forgot to update it after.
Okay, yeah.
But 15, it's just 1 star that I got guaranteed, so it doesn't really.
Exactly.
But
I mean, also like other projects, like the maybe Slime Ring if you have backups, right?
So I
maybe
have like
the superiors to 20, like that's stuff that might come in before you take the last step of 21 to 22 CRA, just before it, but it's pretty close. But I mean, 22 CRA and having it done is one thing, but you're still going to keep doing CRA weekly anyway for the crystal, so it's not like it's not like now you can scratch a content off your list and save you time or anything if you do it early, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Just my only problem is like almost in 1 backup for superior, so like having backups is probably like only like if I go for transfers. So like I'm keeping my current superior earring 17, and then like trying to get a 21 or 22 fodder, and then only like recubing it, because it's only like 1 bill, I guess, and DMT it's even less. So I guess I'm gonna be okay with that. Like losing a 21%, it isn't that bad. My most like impressive gear, I guess, it's like my drop and meso, because it's like cost me like about 6 bill, getting 200 drop, 100 meso with spirit pendant. So that's kind of like my most insane.
I mean, you rolled it on a bunch of items that I think you didn't want to get it on, but I guess that's a small price to pay for getting it so cheap.
Like, yeah. Like, I was already, like, that deep. Like, my 22 Meister, I wanted it as a damage ring. And then I saw, like, 9... and I'm trying to push level, so when I saw 18 luck and 20 meso, I said, like, let's keep it, because I'm either way gonna need the damage for later areas.
Yeah. So that's one you're using common now. You're using for both?
What?
Using for damage and for drop meso set?
So the only things that I'm using for damage, I'm pretty sure I updated it. It's in bossing. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
that's like I still use it in bossing and farming. I have a 33% slime ring, so that's
Yep.
kinda nice. And my biggest con, I guess, it's my Twilight mark, because it's
Oh
like
yeah.
double drop, and I didn't want it to like I have an hybrid how like the Zakum face accessory. I has it like as you can see it
Oh,
in
okay.
like useless
Yeah,
like
the
my old
condensed.
gear. Yeah, the
Yeah.
condensed like is
Mm-hmm.
it's hybrid, and I just rolled double drop, and I said let's try to get 200 100 with spirit pendant for grinding, and
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
this is
find
this is
another
fine though.
Twilight mark, to be honest.
Yeah, but
So
it's normal. Honestly, it's fine that this happens. It feels weird to make like a second set of like hybrid things, but honestly, for like a main character, that's not terrible because if you're gonna progress into the higher level areas, you will need more damage, and even if it is good potential, the condensed power crystal is just gonna hold you back eventually. So it's a good update. But now you lose some damage, of course, but and you need to. I mean, probably the next one, if you get Twilight Mark, you're just like tapping like straight up to 21, right, before you even switch to damage, or would you go for a 19 again?
uh well, I'm trying to like get as much damage as I can, so I'm probably like gonna leave it in 19. But
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know. Like keeping a 19 with at least 21% is a lot better than like 19 in 9 decks. It's like nothing
Yeah,
as
yeah,
damage
no,
here.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like looking at small gains, because I'm probably like trying to push as much as I can in a smart way, not like tapping away and trying to get 22s or 21s and like sending stuff, because I want to progress to, let's say, e-calling as fast as I can, and trying to
Okay.
find a party. I'm trying to find the struggle party for BM, like at the post Dreamer. I'm trying to get my BA a bit higher, like trying to get
Mm-hmm.
80 bill per second, so I can qualify a lot more easily. Like I can do it at 60 bill ISO,
Yeah.
but it's like a real struggle run. Like, in
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much is Black Mage? Like a 1 hour? Then it's like really struggling. So that's my plan for the near future. My end goal right now is, of course, end calling, but a lot more realistic is e-calling and maybe end Kalos for my Hoyoung.
Mm-hmm.
And Nightlord, I guess, is a side project. Like he has 22s and he got a Zerg like last week. I really don't know what to do with the Zerg on him. Maybe I'm just gonna send it if I finish things on my Hoyoung on SSF. So that's
Right.
that. Um,
Yeah, that is something to consider whether you just kind of like leave it until you have disposable income, or what is it currently using for a face accessory?
oh, it's using a Sweetwater tattoo. It's like 17 star, 30% luck. So it's
Okay.
like a fine piece, not the best, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He has a Twilight mark as well, but I can tap it as well, like, and try to
Yeah,
see if
you
it
could
goes
use
or not.
them. Yeah, you could use them like alternate between the two and see just which one survives the longest, and then use that one
Yeah, I can
between
do
the
that.
three. But yeah, only if you have money left. If you already, make sure that the money that needs to go to the Hoyoung is spent on the Hoyoung first. So.
Yeah, that's my priority, to go like
Mm-hmm.
full send my Hoyoung until I can.
Mm-hmm.
My priority in levels mostly, I think I'm trying to push 285, but realistically, I'm probably gonna stop it like 281 or 282, and maybe go back to farming fems like in Grandes when they
Mm-hmm.
come.
Mm-hmm.
Because my fems are, I don't even have, I don't have nothing. Like I have normal drop that is 60 because it's epic, I'm pretty sure, because on normal it's 50% drop, and at 20 I defem. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
uh, yeah,
That's
so that's
unfortunate.
like a priority for I say end game, because I saw a lot of people like hitting 280 and then going back to fems. Even
Mm-hmm.
though I'm progging Shadower, because I feel like if I get him to 250, I will get not enough. Like, again, it's about luck. I can hit like 30% boss, I can hit nothing, I guess. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, getting fems for my Shadow, it's levels, meso, and card fem.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a good plan. Because if I go back to Serenium with a 280 Hoyoung or whatever, then it's like spending time on, like, I don't know,
Yeah,
it's
it's like a
just a waste
fragments.
of XP. Yeah, it's
You
fragments, that's true.
fragments nodes. Yeah, you're really sacrificing. You're choosing either to get fragments and some money, or exp, and or you choosing to get fragments and familiars, or fragments and exp. That's like the choice essentially. But at least you have a choice. You know. Now you don't have a
Yeah,
choice. Now it's like, do you
yeah,
want less money
yeah.
and nodes and maybe some fragments, or do you want all the exp and yeah? People usually decide to either like take a little bit of a step back from their main character at like 275 or 280 or 285. Whatever the 5 level interval is that makes sense.
Yeah,
If your goal is like normal Kalos and easy culling stuff, 280 will definitely make that much more manageable than just 275, quote unquote. You could look for like Heart Siren, Easy Kalos party first, that kind of stuff. Probably do that like, well, once you have the Sacred Power, right? We want to go towards 200. Are you almost at that point?
oh, I updated it. I'm pretty sure I'm 170 right now, and
Okay.
when I get Shangri-La, I guess I'm gonna be like to the, how much you said I need? 200 or 220
So
for
200 for base, and then up to 250 you'll get bonus damage. But
yeah,
like
okay.
200 is a good goal, so you can start looking for like Heart Siren and Easy Kalos, and then you can see if you have like a party to progress with, if other people who are in the same level, and then see if you can walk it up to like normal Kalos and at easy culling, that kind of stuff. Be cool if you can like progress with a party like that.
Yeah, yeah. That's like my main problem, like finding parties, cause
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really looking, cause I mostly played Maple is as a solo player.
Yeah.
All my experience never like got to end game. My most like end game, I guess, was getting to level 3, 234 when Will came out. So I guess that's like for
Mm-hmm.
me was pretty end game because I was in the stage of getting that. But right now I'm not looking for parties too much because I'm trying to, because I switched mains, really set me back in terms of putting my Hoyoung first, so my Night Lord sits at 274. I could get him to 275 at least for the Shangri-La symbol, but
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to spend even like his 60%, and on average I get about like 10% a WAP, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
not 10% even, I think it's oh no, it's 10%, yeah, 10% a WAP. It's like 4 WAPs on him when I can do 4 WAPs on my Hoyoung. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I just feel like progging my Hoyoung is a lot more
Yeah, I understand. One thing you can do with parties though is that if you say that you do get your Night Lord to that point, and it looks like he is still a bit stronger, right? If
yeah,
you get yourself into a party and then the party gets pretty strong, you could also say like, "Hey, I'm going to switch out my Night Lord for another character, and it's going to be a bit weaker, but you're still going to be fine, and you will already have experience with the boss as well, so it'll be easier to progress in that way." And then um, might be a little bit of a sneaky way or something to get yourself into a party, because then they already know who you are and then you know your progress, and they know they don't need the damage as much, and then you can kind of use your own characters to help you get a position for your other character.
yeah, but I
That is a
feel
possibility.
like I feel that's true, but at the same time I feel like because of the fact that my Night Lord is a lot stronger than my Young in my current
Mm-hmm.
state as well. He has legacy items, so that's a big disadvantage for my Young. That if I join a party and then I like say I'm switching and all that, I have a higher possibility to get kicked because I need to level the same playing field. My
Yeah, I'm not
like my
saying like
Young
join
to
and do one run and then be like, okay, I'm gonna switch. But like if you're running for a while, and you notice that the runs are like really fast and you guys have a lot of damage, not enough to like go to the next stage of the next boss, but like more than enough for the like if you're doing like a hard Siren and easy Kalos, right? If you're at that step and seeing if you can add easy culling, that kind of thing, there's a point in the beginning where you're just practicing and not really gaining much damage, but just you gain a lot of damage by just getting better at the boss and actually playing the mechanics well. And then when you notice that you actually are clearing it pretty well and you don't have a lot other stuff to do, then the people also just, you'll just kind of become friends with the people in the party. And then you can also be like, hey, this is, can I want to actually progress my Hoyoung more. Maybe like, this is maybe like a month or 2 months or 3 months into it. And then you're like, I want to progress my Hoyoung more. It's almost as strong and we don't really need the damage. I'm just going to switch over. Is that okay? And if they say like, nah, we need the damage or something, that's one thing. But they'll probably be okay with it at that point because you've already been bossing together and you know each other. So it's easier to go with someone that you already can know and trust with the mechanics and to try to get some new rando just because he plays a different class, That's more.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like using your character in the main guild and then seeing if you can get spots in the mule guild, for your bossing mules, like that way, kind of like leveraging your connection and kind of networking to leverage position and getting into parties a little bit earlier. Because I don't think your Hoyoung is that much weaker. Like 5 million Legion raid power
I
behind,
think I'm
but 6
pretty
levels.
sure. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that post Dreamer, like the only problem that I see, like in terms of if I wanted to really progress fast as I want, is probably my Night Lord, like switching back and trying to prog him because of like mastery, because Night Lord kinda gets his most of his damage out. Like his
Mm-hmm.
quad stars is like 29 hexa, and then I have like 400 frogs saved on him for getting at least a bit of levels on his marks. And my
Okay.
Hoyoung has like I poked a bit of hexa. He's like 12 hexa right now,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a pretty sure like he has. Let me check. I'm on him right now. He has
Mm-hmm.
218 frags, but most of his frags are gonna go to leveling his second mastery to like this almost the same FD as my first mastery
Okay.
from this, the Hoyoung Discord, and then getting Solianes to 10. So it's like I'm looking at about
Mm-hmm.
800. It's more like 900 more fragments. For me, it's not that a lot, like
Mm-hmm.
because it's 17th of July, and like I said, I'm like gonna grind hard. So I'm pretty sure, like in terms of frags, I'm gonna get that. Just like
Mm-hmm.
my not Hoyoung, my Nadlord is potentially a lot like stronger in the position that he is for Dreamer in terms of getting
Mm-hmm.
marked and getting having legacy items and all that. Just don't enjoy him, so I'm just focusing on my Hoyoung
Yeah.
of
Yeah, I
getting
just
him
want to
as
say, like, as a possibility, you could maybe use them as like a leverage, right? Because it'll give you a little bit faster, also more experience with the bosses. And then once you get the Hoyoung gets to the point, you'll be able to learn faster with the Hoyoung as well. And if you already have a static party at that point, you don't have to look for that. Then that's part of like the future of your character that you don't have to think about anymore. You don't have to worry about anymore. You can solely, focus on the progression itself on a character, rather than how am I gonna get connected to a party on this guy now. Or you can run 2 parties if you end up liking it both, or you can just like switch back to one and switch the position. Or if one week people are like, oh, we need more damage, then you can maybe just switch back, right? You can be a bit more flexible that way.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I don't really know. Like I feel I can do it. Like you said, leveraging my Night Lord because of his stronger, and then like switching to my Hoyoung.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the like either way, like the first thing like me to do is find a static party, like you said,
Yeah.
and I'm not looking for like I talked to some other people not in the guild like in streams. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of them like have a different mindset than me in like terms of like getting carried. Like some people said to me like just get BM carry and don't worry about it. Like it isn't really like a hard boss right now, and I feel like it's not my mindset. I feel like I want to prog it normally with a static party, and maybe from that static party we can try to prog to Ikaling even if everyone is in the same mind and
Yeah.
has time to do that,
Yeah,
and
it's
not like
harder to
getting carried
find.
and
Well,
yeah.
it's harder to find for Black Mage, like, still, like, the whole group of party that it's all, like, their first character, their first main. They all want to struggle it together. What happens more is that you have some people, you know, doing Liberation on, like, their 6th character, and you have some people, you know, that's, like, their 4th side character that they're, like, having way too much damage on, and they're, like, level... Like, my hero, for example, like, 260, but I think it's, like, double your BA. Doesn't make any sense, right, how strong that character is for that level. But it's really hard to find people all in the exact same position. But yeah, I agree with you that the logic of like it's not a hard boss anymore, just get carried. To me, that's completely nonsensical. Because if it isn't that hard of a boss, then why do you need to get carried? Just kill it then, right?
Yeah. And my
like,
Nilo didn't even start Liberation. In his over is like 120 or 100 bill per second, and without roar. So I'm like, I can qualify to a BM party with him, and even like do a fast run with him. I just feel like I want to get my first ever clear on my true main, and my Hoyoung isn't that far, so like even like I'm pretty sure even before SSF I can try to find a party to practice, and even after Dreamer there's like the buff. I heard some people like I tried to find in Reboot Central some people, and they said that they don't want to park because of not wanting to waste buffs. And first of all, it's really dumb in my
it's really dumb.
opinion.
Yeah,
Like
just
buffs are
start
really
practicing.
easy to get, in my opinion. Like it isn't that hard.
No, it's just because they know it's coming soon, and then suddenly that means that doing it now then is more of a waste or something. It's a little
again,
silly.
if there it's like an Onyx Apple, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Don't pop it, but Legion
Just G skills.
like,
Legion. Yeah.
I guess G skills, like you can say somehow it's a 30-minute wait if you like run a, like I guess, but again waiting 30
you just go do
minutes
some
and
other
going,
boss,
like,
do another daily, come back, practice
doing
more,
boss mules, like my boss mules at least take 30 minutes, so I can do a boss mule and hop back in.
Well,
Even
your
though,
G skills don't go cooldown, right? That's the problem.
I can just farm a mini warp then. Like,
no, I get that it's easier, but then to say, oh, we're not going to do any because the change is coming soon, that's like so weird, because you could get so much like extra practice now that when the change does come through, you might be already clearing, like you're just slowing down your progress.
I felt like because of people like that, I'm leaning towards like post Dreamer, because if it's like in 2 days, so I guess if I really wanted, I could have started packing, but I feel there's gonna be a lot of, not a flood, but a lot more people trying.
Oh, definitely, I mean, a lot more hyper
because
burns,
of
you
the
know,
buffs, and as well as buffs, I think, because like people now will say, oh, I can have G skills and pracking without like waiting 30 minutes. So I think you can just like re-enter and like prac 3 hours in a row. So that's really nice, I guess. In that term, I'm just trying to look at a BM party, because it's my first like I think Libing, like it's at 8-month process, so in 8 months I'm probably gonna get at least 280 and be, I'm not gonna say max hexa, but really deep into it. And maybe even if if I get max hexa, then I'm just gonna go for getting my Night Lord a bit stronger, or my Hyperbane, like my Hyperbane is gonna be Kane, and he's gonna be kinda strong. I'm not like putting him as a 260 boss mule and slime. I'm looking more for a normal Lucid boss mule.
Hard,
so getting him
hard Lotus, hard Damien, normal Lucid.
Normal
Will.
Like
normal
prepping
Gloom,
a bit.
maybe.
If I can, that's he's kind of strong with his 6, so maybe.
Yeah, I'm working on mine. Normal Darknell, probably that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just saw some like gameplay of him on Lotus, and he looked really good. So I like am semi mid-maxing for like characters for how it's called, the pitch boss that Lotus drops, a Blackheart. I'm
Yeah,
like
the black hearts. Yeah.
semi looking for mid-maxing it right now,
Mm-hmm.
even though I'm kind of far away, but picking classes that can easily do it, it's
Yeah.
like a big benefit for me
Yeah,
at least.
the faster you start for that, the better, because you'll need a bunch of them built up, because they'll just every 20 days another one is gone. So once you
Yeah.
switch to the set, you want to be able to upkeep it and not have to like go back. That just sucks.
Yeah. And because of that, I'm like trying to get Shadow to 250 or even 260 if I really want to push him. And then Shadow is really good at
Mm-hmm.
Lotus, at least for my experience. Even on 120 ping, it doesn't really bother me. I like the weaving and all that. But other than that, I'm just looking for getting a aesthetic party for BM, at least for not even looking for 8 months. Like if I can find a party that will stick 8 months in a row, then that's great. Like
Yeah,
I'm really
that's
happy
like I
for
was saying.
that.
That's hard, right? Because it's either going to be people who've already cleared a few times, or they got already carried a few times.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the main like
because
problem
there's
I
so many
see. Like,
people running. There's almost
mhm.
it's going to be really hard to find first people running first time clear, and they want to practice and start the whole way up. And even if you do find that, you're going to have to find people who can practice around the same time, who have the same speed of practicing, that you have play characters that you synergize with, and that have like personalities that you match with. It's a lot of yeah, a lot of
I think the timing will
things.
be
Yeah.
the most issue because I will need to
Yeah.
find like EU people and not
Mm-hmm.
NA people. Even though I
Have you
guess
checked for the
there's
alliance
NA.
or
No, I didn't check, and like I only typed one message in Reboot Central about like 3 weeks ago. So, like I said,
mm-hmm.
I'm not really looking at it because of like I said, the people that are saying, "Hey, let's do it after." I'm just like planning more post Dreamer because of the buff changes for practice. So I'm just like, I guess there are gonna be more people, and I can try to like get more people into bracking or even trying to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. In terms of like progging into it, I know what I need to do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like more thinking what gear to upgrade on SSF. Like we said, like gear progression more, because I'm a bit lost. Because I have a Con 4, and I heard on a Hoyoung Discord it's like a 22 ring for us, so it's kinda like can
Yeah,
replace one of
Roar
my
would be
rings
way
for right
better, of
now.
course,
Yeah,
right?
Rogue,
Yeah.
that's of course it's gonna be a lot better, but Con is like a second type. I know Weapon Jump is more like a Culvert ring for us,
Mm-hmm.
and Con is good for Culvert, but is good as well like for bossing and solo bossing even if I
Yeah,
really want it. So pretty happy about like getting a Con 4.
for sure. Yeah. Before 270, getting any of the big rings at a 4 is really good value, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I got to Rogue One on both of my characters. It's kind of
Well,
sad,
one.
but
Yeah, it's a little depressing.
even Rogue 3 was, I think, is a bit better. Like I can
Mm.
switch rings for at least for Culvert. I'm not saying it in bosses. At least for
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
a juicy Culvert is like, a bit better. But fuck it.
yeah.
In terms of Legion, I'm probably gonna push Legion to like 8.5 or even 8.5 probably. I'm like 8080 right now. It's not really like updated. I got
But your goal is 8. So why would your goal be 8.5?
why is my goal gonna be? I think
Mm-hmm.
just more Legion pieces.
Well, it's one extra piece, right? At 8.5.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Is that gonna? So I'm just asking, right? Like, what made you come to that like conclusion? Because there's a million things you can do in your account once you get past 8K.
Oh,
In your
because
Legion, yeah.
most of my characters, like I can, because I have like 45 bonks ready, so it's not like I'm pushing it on my spare time, like farming on characters. It's mostly
Gotcha.
like getting on events like the 0 to 100, getting another 30 levels. It's like, oh, there's like storage. If I'm not I'm pretty sure there's storage, right? or it's not. I'm
Storage?
pretty
Oh,
sure
the storeroom. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it to like 131 because bongs work on 131 now, and just like getting some mules. I guess it's like gonna be really easy because my cane is 120 and is a Terraburn. I can like push him a bit,
Mm-hmm.
to get him like bonked ready, and
Or
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
have
hyper
another
burn, you said, right?
2-6. Yeah, and I'm gonna remake one for a hyper
Okay.
burn.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I feel like I have like a lot of space for Legion, so like remaking isn't a big mistake
Yeah.
for me.
You got like 10
And
slots left or something, right?
yeah, I have a lot of slots, and my Xenon is gonna be 200 because I'm gonna bonk him.
Mm-hmm.
He's 180.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna get to 8.5 passively, not like
Yeah.
intentionally.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because
And not-
when you get past 8K, there's more value in specifically picking certain characters because they have certain attributes that you want, or leveling certain characters because you want them to be higher level boss mules. That tends to have more value for your account than just like chasing a specific number in the Legion. There's only really if you have classes that main buff duration. That's when really pushing the Legion like to 9k into like 9.5. That's when that gets a lot of value, right? Because you want to be able to max out the boss and the critical damage and the IED and the buff duration and put maybe something in crit. So at that point, but with where most people are at now, like the crit is probably going to lose some value in people's Legion relatively, depending on where they're at with the inner ability because of the changes to the Legion artifact system. So there's a lot less pressure to really push Legion, quote unquote, just for Legion's sake past 8k. As long as you have the important stats of the important members, I think, like if I'm looking through your account, it'd probably be a little bit more, but I think they're funded somewhat well. But to make sure that your characters can more easily and maybe more quickly get all the weekly bosses done, to stack your income a little bit harder. It's probably what I would work on more than just like the Legion level. But yeah, if you're saying I'm just going to use my, events, items and stuff like that, and that's going to increase the Legion, sure. But that's more like a, that's even like a side thing that's not even that important, right? Because I think
it's like passively. What?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to talk about like what your weekly income is at, but you're like grinding a lot on the Hoyoung, so I'm thinking you don't want to spend too much time on bossing mules.
No, it's fine. Most of my bossing mules are like 30 minutes, and spending like, even in my opinion, like meso to hour ratio, it's like boss mules are the best for it, because 30 minutes and I get like 1.4 bill. It's like insane, and I'm trying to get 80 bill to SSF, so I still do boss mules. I'm not like giga grinding and leaving mess on the table, because I have time to do it. So like my Shadow is a low me and low me, and my Demon Slayer is a I'm just gonna tell you my income. I didn't write it down in the doc, but I have it like in a file that I have on so it's right now, because I have I'm adding like 2 more CRA mules. It's about like 9.6 bill.
Okay.
Because my Night Lord isn't doing any like hard bosses,
what's the hardest
I guess.
you're doing there?
Oh yeah, on my Night Lord, like 4-man Vihila, my hardest, and I'm pretty sure I didn't try it, but I'm doing like End Slime for like keeping the time down, but I'm pretty sure I can maybe do a duo sea slime, or even try to solo it. I'm not sure, but I'm like mostly trying to like gain the most mesos. Getting the most mesos for the least amount of time spent. So like
doing
my
like
Night Lord
easy Lucid and easy will as well.
I'm doing N Lucid, because I can burst it pretty quick, and will. I'm not doing easy will. I'm doing H will because of like maybe getting a book or something like that from Lucid. I'm not getting too much, like in terms of getting a dreamy belt. Pretty sure
even
it's
if you
low
get
priority.
it,
it's really low priority in pitches. So like I prefer mesos in that point. and I'm just doing like a wheel for book and maybe a mark if I like get extra spares for it and all that.
Gotcha.
And my back is in low man. My Nightwalker after this event, because I have like artifact kinda prepped, so he's gonna probably have enough to do N low man. My dual blade is an N low man, and like don't worry, there is a CRA and two more are going to be CRA. Like my hero, that
Mm-hmm.
he's 200 in the Legion board, but I put him to 220 because I was about to hyperburn an hero, and I felt like I wouldn't enjoy the class because it's an attack speed +1 class, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
getting that isn't that hard, but I just prefer like a class that doesn't depend on it too hard. And
Okay.
and some people said you can play hero without it and it's fine and all that. I just really
Yeah, you
like
could
being
play it
that.
like one-handed weapon, then you have the same attack speed. And at that
Yeah,
lower level, it's not very noticeable the difference between like one-handed weapon and this and a two-handed weapon. It's pretty similar. It's more the attack speed is more about like it being like fluid and then animations being faster. You know, it's not that much about the damage, but if the animations are faster, you can get out of the way and dodge just a little bit cleaner. It just makes the playstyle a little bit more fun. But I understand, yeah. You don't want to commit to something and then having to do a whole bunch of things before the character is like ready to be played, kind of
yeah,
thing, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And the second of all, like Kane is a 220 boss mule, is
Mm-hmm.
a lot like a lot uh, weaker from what the information I gathered. Like it's a fine 220, but because of his 6 job, it's like a really good 260 boss mule.
Mm-hmm.
And Hero has a good 260 266 job, but I feel like Kane overtakes it because of how his 6 job works. So I just chose Kane, and it's a semi combo class, a bit similar. Like I wouldn't say it's similar to Hoyoung, but a bit, really a bit.
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
terms
No,
of like
yeah.
doing the bears is like really easy. You need to set it up a bit, and then like you do it, and you
Yeah.
just do
Nuke
your
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like hero is gonna go to 220 boss mule, and then I will add about, I don't remember the math because I didn't add it in my sheet, but until end slime that my Kain will gonna do, and I will push him like in the future to, like I said, and lucid and easy wheel for mesos.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sure I'm gonna be around 11 bill income,
Yeah.
plus farming, because
Yeah,
I
plus
can't
farming,
really
yeah.
say how much, but I can say per day it's like 3 WAPs, so let's say like 3 bill per day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at
Yeah, 14 to
I have
15.
like uh,
Oh, per day.
less than 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
So it's like 12 days, right? 12 days. It's like 36 bill from just farming, and it's like the minimum that I get
Mm-hmm.
because I can do like 5 WAPs a day and I can do 4 WAPs a day. Like the
Oh, yeah, because you
minimum
have all the
is
time
like,
now, yeah.
yeah, so it's like 36 and having the storage like 20
Mm-hmm.
bill. So it's gonna be 56 plus like 2 weeks of bossing. It's like I'm gonna be 70 bill SSF.
70-ish. Mm-hmm.
That's the like bare minimum, like I'm saying right now. It's about the bare
Okay.
minimum. I'm like I said, I'm more looking for 80 bill and above
Mm-hmm.
for like mm, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to push as hard as I can.
Okay.
That's my main goal. Like because after I just know that about like when I'm ending liberation, I'm starting uni, and then my time like goes down
Yeah.
really like
You want to be able to just like
jumps
log
down.
in, do
Not
weekly,
even
and
maybe a WAP a day. Even that I'm like you said, just logging in and
mm-hmm.
fucking off. Then
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and I have a girlfriend that I need like to spend
Ac-
time with and all that, like
acknowledge
have
that she
social life.
exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like right now she says okay, grind. I don't really care because she works like a 12-hour shift, so it's fine.
Nice,
Like
nice.
we see each other like only at night, like because of that I'm saying like I can be until 2 a.m.
Yeah. I see.
So we're like seeing each other at night and like maybe weekends sometimes, like having a bit of you know
Uh-huh.
stuff, but like you know
A little bit of
I'm
OF.
uh, I guess nah, JK, she's ain't making that shit,
No,
but
no, OF. OF.
I
A
thought
little
you
bit of
said
love, yeah. Yeah, no,
yeah,
not
yeah.
OF, no. It does. It is interesting how similar that is, though.
Yeah,
Now that I
it's really
realize.
similar. Yeah, it's because of that. Yeah, OF. But like my main goal, I guess, is getting as strong as I can pre-lib, like
Yeah.
pre-finishing lib,
Mm-hmm.
and like trying to progress as much as I can post liberation and trying to like find a party that has a fine timing for me when I'm in uni. It's probably not gonna be that possible, but it's so far like I'm talking about November or even like December, so
Yeah.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
almost 6 months away. So I'm like at the stage that I can like look for more of gains, and like work is I can work it from home, and even if I like come from work, I'm looking at 6 WAPs a day because it doesn't really
Jesus.
affect my schedule as that.
Okay. Work
Yes.
plus girlfriend plus sleep plus 6 WAPs a day. Okay.
Yes.
Pretty standard.
That's a
Okay.
lot. Well, I guess if I would have done it on Hyperion, maybe I was a top Hoyoung there, but I don't know. There's some people on Hyperion that are like super grindy, more than 10 WAPs a day from what I know, but you know,
They go
that's
crazy,
not
dude.
at least not my mindset. Like after 6 or 8 hours of like straight up grinding, like my fingers are okay because I train them. Like I gotta train them. Being a Ho Young man, pressing a lot of buttons, but feeling like
Oh,
I
I thought
need
you meant
to.
by being alone for so long every day.
No,
You were
no,
training
no.
them.
I train it as well, but
Okay.
I need to do it quick. So there's no like a lot of training of that. I need to do it quick.
I see. Yeah, you're losing
Uh,
gains when you do that, so.
yeah. I think if I take like more than 10 minutes, it's like half a WAP, half a XP coupon. I'm doomed. I'm doomed.
Yeah, no. There go the, yeah.
Nah, it's not my plan right now, and I get enough enjoyment in the week for that. So
That's
my
good.
dopamine hits more than in getting gains,
Yeah. It's
not
the
in
fragments.
getting my fingers. Oh, when I get fragments, that's the most
That
perfect
helps.
situation I can. Yeah,
Nice.
getting getting 34 per WAP. That's fucking amazing.
That's good. I mean, once you get the like a large drop, that'll affect
Oh,
it quite a bit
that's
as well.
I guess, but I need fuel for it. So like the post 2 hour grind, if I don't have fuel, then the 100 like
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
doesn't
that's another
really.
thing why it's really nice to be able to do both, because then you can also just keep the fragment grind up for more than 2 hours a day.
Yeah,
And do
yeah.
bosses on a day that you grinded and also have them available for bossing kind of thing. Yeah. Opens up more possibilities.
Even though I'm not really using FEMs on like bosses because
Mm-hmm.
I don't have FEMs.
Yeah, no, you
Like
don't have to. You just can tick
and
them for
yeah,
the box and then turn them back off kind of thing, yeah.
yeah. Like for V-Healer is a bit of a struggle, but I have enough of like iframes and
Yeah.
mostly damage to clear it fast, so I'm not like really struggling it.
Yeah, if you're formatting, it's also easier if a few people have a healing fem, then...
Oh no, my Night Lord has like a large drop in healing fems. I mean my
Okay.
Hoyoung. My Hoyoung needs like a
Oh, as well,
6-man
okay.
party for it.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
my Night Lord does a 4-man V-Healer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure like my Hoyoung does. We did like I found 2 people random. To be honest, I added them to friends. Like one Bishi and one Night Lord. We did H Lucid clear like under like 10. It was about 10 minutes or maybe under 10 minutes, like a 3-man,
Nice.
really quick. So like I'm trying to semi find less and less people in a party to
Yeah.
if I see a pitch or get drops or even that, because
More
On my
crystal.
Night Lord, I less do it because of my drop rate, because my drop rate isn't great, and if I find people that like type in public, you know how public bossing, then I can like find more people that has higher drop, and then my Night Lord gains a bit of more
That's
benefit
true as
from
well.
that.
Yeah.
Like my Hoyoung has almost max drop, just doesn't have large fam.
Yeah.
Like it's only 40% drop, so if that makes the difference, so fuck me, I guess.
Fem and inner, right?
No, my inner on my Hoyoung is 20%. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 20%.
Oh, on the Hoyoung.
Yeah. No, my Night Lord has 20 mess, so I talked to
Oh,
people,
okay.
they said for grinding it's preferable to get like 20 mess, so
Yeah, early
uh,
on. Early, like for
I,
your first character and early on, probably, right? Just to get started. But then especially once your income starts getting around like that 10 bill a week kind of thing, then you can really start scaling off of the Mez Obtain and start working on item drop instead. But once we have multiple inner abilities, in a few days after the update, then it makes sense to just have one with main drop rate and Mezzo on it. And then one with just only damage. So then you'll be able to split the two. But I guess your current one will just be your training one, and then you make a new one for the damage one, right?
Yeah, like I'm looking more because like I heard that 1.6 honor XP isn't that a lot, and I started saving from New Age when they said they're gonna give us like inner ability presents. So I guess 1.6 isn't a lot, but yeah, I didn't grind that much. As I'm gonna say, like pre-anniversary, I didn't grind that much, and I switched mid-anniversary to my Hoyoung, so that's that. Like my Night Lord has a lot of more honor XP because of the grind that it's like 4K fragments on, because I'm keeping track of how much
Okay,
fragments is
that's
in
just a lot.
each character, like 4K fragments on it, because my Hoyoung right now, can I check it if you don't mind? Like, I need to pull up the doc. It's not my
Oh,
doc. Like the Night Lord is my doc that I just calculate how much. But there's a Hoyoung sheet that's kind of nice to have. On my Hoyoung, I'm currently 1.4k fragments dip,
okay.
and I'm looking at about until the 17th of July to be at like the estimated amount about like let me
Like two and a half
okay, it's like
thousand together.
3.4
Oh,
3.4
3.4. Yeah.
yeah, because like I'm getting the first day when like second master in Janus drops, I'm spending about like 1k, and from there I'm just gonna see where do I need to put it more and all that, but I'm about like 3.4. But I need to like address it. I'm buying the Sol Erda booster, so that's that. I'm getting like 20. How much is it
And
per
we'll get
week? Like,
more fragments with the high mountain dungeon as well.
oh, how
Usually,
mountain, yeah, and all that. So
I think it's gonna
and
be 40 a week from that.
yeah, and like it's not a big increase, but 12 more drop rate is it's a W in my books at
Yep,
least.
it's all a
A
little
W
bit
in my
extra. All
books.
counts. Yeah. Well, then if
Yeah.
you add, if you have like 12 plus the 40, yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so equips. Let's see. You have full. Yeah, drop bezel stuff is done. You're just sitting in. Are you getting access to any of the pitches? Are you in? So you're party with Vihela. Do you have party for the other ones as well?
uh, pretty much like public parties, but I'm
Okay.
trying to find like public parties that are small, not like
Yeah.
constant, but people that write trio or foreman at
And you try to
I'm
add
not
those
looking
people to
like at
buddy
six.
list or ask if they want to make static as well.
Well, some of them I have on bunny list, and we sometimes like do it because again, like time zone is a bit of a struggle, but I try as much as I can, like finding parties that are small as possible. My Hoyoung is like, let's say, from when I started to count, is like 2 months like from doing like pitch bosses like 2 months
Mm-hmm.
without, but 2 months there's people that doing it years and aren't
Yeah.
9 sets, so 2 months is
Yeah,
nothing
yeah, yeah. I mean,
in
yeah,
that
you can only
spectrum.
give yourself opportunity for a drop. That's the best you can do.
Yeah,
Past that,
yeah.
it's yeah. Because even if you do C1, yeah, you're gonna have to share in the beginning. I think the
Hmm.
biggest jumps is gonna be in your CRA and then in getting your superiors up, right? So when it comes to the backups, you've got plenty saved, but your Helix, because that's one thing. If you don't know for sure, what you want to do with your Night Lord and everything like that, there is the thing of like, yeah, getting it to 275 would be useful. You could maybe use some event EXP. You do MPE on there for a while, see if you can like push them to 275. So just so you can do the symbol dailies, and then maybe just do symbol dailies and some weeklies on there and nothing else. So that if you do ever switch or you want to do some extra content on there, maybe to even help your main or just to spice up your income. There's some things where you'd be like, oh, I'll just do a Helix daily. If you do Helix daily on that character, what is it, like a minute? But then after months, that does mean that you could, once you start running out of like projects to do in the Hoyoung, you could look over there or maybe make some gains. That's kind of like where the benefit of playing like multiple characters kind of comes in, is that you can start not caring about the short term, but like play purely for long term for certain characters. Because the downside of what happened to this character of the hitting the lines on your superiors, you bought some extra superiors, right? And that every single time you do one of those, that does set you back like a whole month basically on a backup for a superior.
Yeah.
So typically, the belt can happen pretty early. When you have two, what I like to do is see if you could just make a 21 belt, transfer it into a new belt, and see if you can tap the new belt to 21.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, if it goes, then you just use the 21, and then
Recube it,
your and then you cube it, and then your 17 basically becomes a backup for 22 later when you have like 6 or 7.
Okay.
If the first one booms, you can still try it on the second one. If the second one booms and you still want to go, you can still make another 21 and go in your existing one, and you just settle at 20. That'd be like worst case scenario basically, but then you'd have to make 3.
You know what's funny? Like I see the logic right there, and I will do it for my Hoyoung, but I was so like rage stopping, I guess, on my Nightlord that he has a 22 belt, a 22 soup, a 22 dome, and a 22 KT and a 22 CRA hat. Like from just off eventing and spend like rage stopping.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wouldn't say it's a good plan because
no,
if
it's
I
a horrible
don't,
plan, but it
then
can still work.
yeah.
That's
Well,
the
he's just
yeah.
lucky. That's the point. Like my
Yeah.
my Nightlord is lucky. My
Yeah.
Hoyoung, like in cubing, he's really good. Like most of my stuff didn't take like nothing.
Yeah, you talked
in
about your
terms of
drop rate stuff, right? You
yeah,
saved a lot about
and but like for my last 510, oh shit! Like
yeah.
booming 8 KTs. Like from it's not even like I got it to 20. It's like from fucking 17 to 18. I'm just I was so tilted.
Yep.
But at least I got a 21 soup, so I guess it's like I wanted to ask about the 21 soup. I guess I do the same plan as the belt with the for a 22 superior, right? Like I keep the 21 superior ring.
Yeah, you
And
can. Yeah, there it's a little bit up to you. I did it that way with my marksman, with my hero. And then I turned the 21 superior that was then left into you can either like try to tap it and then see if they both go. Then you don't have to redo the pot on one, but I decided to just keep both and then roll the 22 for damage and the 21 for a drop.
oh, I see.
Or meso
Like,
as a hybrid, and then replace like weaker pieces basically with the superior instead.
So my problem in that, like, is because I have a double meso luck ring superior that I got accidentally. So like, it's the only option that I get stronger farming gear is from like trying to tap it like without transferring, because like getting double meso plus stat line is kinda hard.
Well, your superior has double meso.
Yeah.
Which is typically easy to replace because all you'd need is like 2 other items to be hybrid, right?
My hybrid setup is like I ain't
Yeah,
gonna
you have a
say
lot
it's
of. You have way
weird.
more double drops than most people do. Yeah, you got 4
Yeah,
double
and
drops.
it's like and it's under like 6 build. That's what was so crazy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And off eventing as well, because I really wanted to switch. So everything here was off event, like in cubing.
Mm-hmm.
And like when cube sale hit, I mostly spent it on getting my last hybrid, and it was
Yeah.
like. The, what's funny, I spent like 3 bill. That's the average on a hybrid, and the, on a cube sale, and it was above average. So I guess I can't really like be
Mm-hmm.
mad because I got a lot of double drops in less than 6 bill, but I don't know. Just my drop is my most like flex on the account. I mean, isn't really a flex, but like trying to keep it like I have it right now is kind of good. Like my
Mm-hmm.
superior pendant is 16 star but has a hybrid, but I can replace that
Yeah,
because
you can
a
replace that
hybrid is
one.
a
Yeah.
lot less costly than a double drop line, or
Yeah, or
even
double
getting
meso.
a
Yeah.
yeah
Because if
or
you, yeah,
getting
let's say you
even
re-roll the. Yeah, you get a different pendant, and then the pendant rolls double mezzo. Now that will free up your superior ring, right?
yeah that will
So,
really
so for you, it'll probably be do the belt first, and then probably the earrings, but you'll just need to get more drops there, right? And
yeah
then for the coins, you probably want to do the pendant first, so that if that goes and you can replace it with a mezzo pendant, then that'll free up your ring, and then you can basically get a spare ring immediately to start working on trying to get to 22.
that sounds good, like in terms of like
The order,
game
yeah.
plan. That
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because what I was thinking was a bit more like risky, like I said, like my 2 mezzo, like trying to get it to 21 and just settling on it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
it's
mean, yeah,
like
first one
taking
could
the
go,
chance
but you might need 5. You know, that's the horrible
that
part of it.
yeah, like getting 5 is like about 5 months of
Mm-hmm.
getting spares, so that's a real bummer. Like in terms of earrings, I can just like keep the 17 earring I have right now, 16 earring. Try to I have like a lot of reinforced earrings backed up that I can
Yep.
use as fodder and just get one to maybe 20 like
Yeah,
22,
a 22 to
and then
21 tap would be fine. Yeah,
yeah.
and then just start saving from there on out. Mostly try to, yeah, just try to get superiors, but just start saving again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. that
Yeah, it's a good idea.
that's like the main plan on superior at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard like for most people that arcanes are really like my last upgrading point in terms of meso efficiency. Like
Pretty
after I get
much. Yeah.
most of my stuff 22, then arcanes are the most costly and like are the most gains as well, but are the most like costly in terms of meso. And as well I
Yeah.
don't
You
have
wanna.
backups to it too much,
Yeah,
so
exactly. You probably want to get your like your arcanes from 17 to 19 probably happens before you tap most of your 22s. But then probably like the 22s happen, and then the 21s on the arcane, and then the 22s on arcane. Kind
but
of
you
general
think that
order.
I should like do 19 arcanes on SSF without backups? Like even if I get one box, then I can tap like maybe my glove or something to get
Well, if
it
you get a
to
box,
19.
you can technically tap everything, right? That's the great thing because the box is universal backup. So if you get a box, you can try to get all of them to 18, and if they go, you can try to work on 19. And only if something booms, you have to replace it. So boxes are really valuable if you can combine them with events. So try to
Yeah, that
time it
if I
so that you
combine them,
do
yeah,
the
yeah,
runs within the week so that you can still have them. That would be, or maybe from 2 weeks even, right? Try to run on Wednesday or Tuesday from the week before, and then run on Friday or something the week after, so you have 4 chances, or even more if you do
yeah, I
C10A
can
as
do
well
that.
for boxes. That would be a good idea,
Um,
because even one box can potentially save you. Yeah, because if you pick one from the box and then you try to get it to 19, it goes, and you don't even need the backup. Now you're like stuck. You know, that's. I mean, I wish the boxes were just permanent. They probably should be, but
yeah, if they were perma,
they're not. So
there
we have to
were,
plan
yeah.
around it. Yeah.
My question is though, like in terms of that,
Mm-hmm.
I can buy backups
Mm-hmm.
like the amount of like meso I will have I can buy backups, and I have enough like Lucid and Will coins. Maybe I should have like said, but I have like 45 Will, 32 Lucid, so like I can buy about like 6 backups. Just the problem is,
Like
if I do that,
35, 22?
uh, I have no 32 and 45. Like
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so it's like 70. No, yeah, it's about like 72 droplets, like boss droplets,
Mm-hmm.
and like I can, I can buy spares and try to like get my arcanes to 19, but
I
again,
think that's too
it's
early because you really want to
yeah.
focus on the CRA and try to get
Hmm.
the some of the superior ready. And I think that'll be most of your money done. And even if you have some left, you'll want to spend some of that on like fixing up the pots, right?
Mm, okay, okay.
That
I
that's
see.
probably
Like
where you want to go first.
that what was like my main issue. Like
Mm-hmm.
people said that I can buy spares and all that. I just feel that like getting 22s or getting even 21s are a lot better in terms of meso efficiency, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot more like disposable for right me because of fodders and because of like more
Yeah,
in
like
in my current
17 to 19 arcane is also really good value, but if you do that without a single box, it's pretty risky. But even if you have like, 2 or 3 total backups, there's already like a very low chance that you even have to buy anything. And then from 19 to going 21 or 22 on arcanes, there'll be a long time there, so you probably have enough backups to get like 2 or even 3 backups for every piece. And then there's a really good chance you have to buy no backups at all. And maybe during that time, you're spending a little bit more on some bossing mules or on the cane, right, to try to establish that in its own character. And in the same
yeah.
time, you're still keeping up with your dailies and your weeklies on this guy, and then you're just building up way more backups. And then maybe, you have like 5 superior belts and 4 superior earrings or something. So maybe getting those to 22 makes more sense, And maybe you don't... That's the good thing about like playing a lot of characters, playing for a long time, is you could just always pick whatever upgrade based on your backup screen, basically. You could just look at like which one is the least risky. Like if I look at this backup screen, like it's basically like, oh yeah, the belt makes sense, try that one earlier. Maybe the Black Weed Mark, but I think you already have a 20, right? So that's not necessary at this point. You've got
Yeah.
you got enough belts. The Meisters, are you keeping more Meister materials for other
Oh
characters as
yeah,
well?
I can make like about 18 more.
Mm-hmm.
18 more. So
Oh, for this
like in
character,
terms
it's
of
not necessary, right? Because you have 2 22s, but like for some other characters.
I have like 22 Meister and like 21 Superior, so I guess like I can yeah, I guess I'm like done in the terms of like making
Oh, yeah,
Meisters.
fun.
Maybe
Yeah, it's the same.
maybe I
Mm-hmm.
can make like a 22 Meister as a damage ring and not as a like Meso double stat ring.
Well, I think it'll become your. Well, here's the thing. Like, even if you make a Meister as a damage ring, which I think it's kind of a damage ring, I think it's actually in a really good spot. Your Meister ring, because even if you were to make it a damage ring, you probably at most go for 24 or 27,
Yeah.
because the ring will get eventually pushed out anyway when you have the superior, and like the Cut of Treasure is basically the same as stats, so it'll
Okay.
be right up there, and then you have the slime ring, and then you'll want to have your Oz ring on, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there, either the Kind of Treasure or the Meister has to go. In your situation, since you have the 22, you can eventually just say like, okay, I'm gonna maybe just settle on 21 for Kind of Treasure, and the fact that you boomed a bunch of Kind of Treasures is actually the least horrible thing in terms of like backups booming that could have happened, because you already have the 22 Meister. So
Yeah.
that of all the things that could go wrong, that's probably the least bad one. But what did want to mention with the Meisters is that it is kind of like a transferable ring that you have, right? Because you can transfer the materials before you craft. So it'd be a good idea to also look towards your Kane and like other characters that you want to push far, if you want to use that as a StarForce ring early on, so that you don't have to overly rely on event rings, and also so that if you get unlucky with kind of treasure rings, it's not that big of a deal, because you'll already have one of those slots filled, and it'll probably be like strong event ring, Meister or Superior. With Superior, then Meister or Kind of Treasure, or then Slime later, and then if you hit a Oz ring, again, probably the event ring gets kicked out, and you end up with kind of the same situation as your current one. Because, Endless Terror is like, whatever, like that shit doesn't exist, right?
I like I'm gonna be honest. I don't have pitches, but my Hoyoung saw a lot more pitches. Like my first
Mm-hmm.
Vihila run, I was second. We were like 6 men.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the first. I won the blink, and then somebody overtook in a literal millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one was a source drop.
Oof.
Unlucky. I could
Oh,
have
yeah.
got it in if I was a bit more lucky. Then my like third C Gloom on this character was an ET that dropped. It didn't win the blink. I saw a Zerk on that. It was a free, not a free for all. Like it was really weird. I ran Hard Lotus on the first time on this character when my Night Lord was still main,
Mm-hmm.
and we blinked. Everyone who won didn't put party leader only, and somebody yoinked the Zerg from
Oh,
him. So that was kind of
damn.
sad. I'm not gonna lie, like doing that, I don't know, like in a game, just give the guy what he wants, like literally.
Yeah.
You will get it eventually. Like my night, I was sure my Night Lord's gonna be 0-0 pitches because I'm not doing shit on him, and then he got a Zerg and got two armor boxes. He got so much, like in terms of potentially getting farther, my Night Lord is totally ahead of having like three arcane backups. In terms, like he has a boot and a glove, because
Mm-hmm.
it's temporary, like the boxes that. So I needed like to you know take an item. So I didn't want like to take two gloves, and if one goes, then fuck me. In
Mm-hmm.
terms of like having two
I usually
gloves
just go
spare.
one at a time, and then
Yeah,
just if you
yeah,
have one of
that's
each
what I'm
four, you
doing
just start over.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing like on my Night Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of like progging, I'm sure that my Night Lord can 100% do like more progression in terms of like doing 19 stars and doing that shit. But I just feel that I don't know. I'm just like, in terms of progressing on my Hoyoung, it's more like getting, like you said, 21s and 22s is efficiently as I can, and just
Mm-hmm.
like waiting for arcane boxes for maybe next 510 or
Yep.
next SSF, even though I'm not sure when next SSF gonna be.
Uh, that,
Because
there probably a 5, 10, 15 in between where you can like get your 19s, and then you probably wait for a shining to see if you can do the jump to 21.
I know you can talk about it, but from what we know, okay, is like we don't know the Sunny Sundays for part 2 go west, right? We only know for part 1,
Mm-hmm.
or we have like until part or we have all the Sunny Sundays until the end of the event known for
Uh,
us.
no, for the patch notes we saw, that's just like for the patch up until like mid-July, basically.
I see. Then there's maybe
So
a
it's like
10,
5
5,
Sundays
10.
basically.
Okay, so
Yeah.
can be like a 10, 5, 10 again, like
That could
in.
be, yeah. I mean, there's one now,
Okay.
right? And then another shining, so they might like skip like one patch. But again, I usually like it when they skip patches for events. That means I just have more time to
More
build up
time,
backups and
yeah.
money, so I can make better decisions next time.
Yeah,
And then
that's
I can
for
just
sure.
focus on the grind. Yeah.
Like this 510, I felt like kinda pressured to try to push my Hoyoung,
Mm-hmm.
like because of he doesn't have backups,
With the
and the most
arcanes,
that
right?
I can.
To switch.
Yeah, like I felt like getting any gain on him was a good idea, and like getting 21 superior in like how much was it, 7 bill, it's fine, it's like
Mm-hmm.
average, I guess. um so like my SSF plans are, I like you said, getting a belt to 21 and keeping
Mm-hmm.
it, getting an earring to 21, because I'm pretty sure I have like 600 Golox. To 552. I guess I
Mm-hmm.
can until SSF. I have time. I think to get another
Yeah. Yeah.
spare. Then it means like I can get an earring to 21 if I have enough luck.
Like
And
you were
then
gonna
like,
go for 22 fodder, right? Into 21.
yeah, 22 fodder. Like all the
Mm-hmm.
reinforced earrings that I keep are 22 fodder to 21, and then keeping like my superior ring. Uh, if I get a spare, then I'm not gonna buy it. If I get, because my biggest problem is getting a 21 pendant, like superior pendant. In terms of, like, you see, I have only like 3 domes. One is a 17 star, and 2 are like fresh domes that I don't, I just got. And getting like a 21. Again, I can try to get a 21, like 22, not superior, 22.
Daybreak?
No daybreak. I still didn't see a daybreak in both my accounts.
Sweetwater?
Characters. No, Dome pendant, and then transferring to a 21 superior pendant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
So-
again, you have to look at the backups you have, right? So you could definitely try and see if one goes or not. And if it doesn't, then you're just kind of like shit out of luck there. But,
Yeah, like statistically, I'm more like I have more chances of getting a 21 earring. Just I don't want to, if I have a 22 reinforced, I don't want to be sitting on it until I get an earring drop. I know it's semi like a waste of coins because like I can get it from Golox as a drop.
yeah, I would. Yeah, I would look more towards if you. That's why I think it's okay to do 22 reinforced into 21, because I mean, there is definitely like that. It feels weird to sit on 21 superior when it's so close to 22, and then you might have to do the repot or boom a bunch of stuff. Blah.
Yeah.
Like that feels weird, but the sooner you get 21 or 22 CRA, 20 or 21 superior, and then your arcanes fully at 17 or going towards 19 arcane, now you're going to be like funded enough to do Saren, to do Easy Kalos, to do Black Mage, to do, probably like Duo C10, that kind of stuff. And the sooner you get to do that, the faster you get more backups. And then for arcanes and everything, the faster 21 arcanes is reasonable. The faster you can get the stuff to 22, the faster you can get, like, with your drop rate, like you get your Oz ring and everything. And then the pressure is kind of off for a while in terms of needing to upgrade your gear, and it's more about your hexamatrix and your levels and your familiars. And then in the time that you spend working on that and you keep doing Helix, then you could very easily build up like 3 or 4 backups. And then when you get back to pushing for 22s, then that becomes way more risk-free, and then that's a more reasonable thing to do. Because if you just like rushing it a little bit more, you could get lucky and you could get it cheap, but if you get unlucky, then you get like a big setback, and then you have to go back from like 21 down to 17. That just sucks, you know?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like, I know that downgrading because of my Night Lord. So
Yeah.
because of that, I'm playing my Hoyoung a lot smarter.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, because I know what it's like getting at 21, and like it's a lot of gain than 17, and just
Yep.
saying fuck it, trying to tap it to 22 and just booming it, and you have nothing to do than just settling 17, and you're like, why did I fucking do that? Like,
Yeah, you have like a guaranteed good enough upgrade in your hand, but because it's
Yeah.
not quite the highest, yeah. Oh, I get the temptation, but there's plenty of time to get it eventually, you know? And then people feel like, oh, you're spending so much money on potential and redoing it. But if you look at the cost of like redoing a potential, it's
the cost
actually
of
really
potential
cheap.
is like, if you're sitting on 21%, then it's only like how 1 bill off eventing, like if it's not DMT or something. About
Yeah, but you
1
could very
bill.
easily, if it's 21, you just go for like 21 or 24% or something. It's very cheap, and you'll get very far with that stuff. Like,
Yeah. I have a question in like terms of the Guardian Angel slime. It's
Mhm.
I guess 23 is really, really far from my state of the game, because like 23 is one of the most like end game stuff you can do, because you need like I
Yeah.
heard 13 plus backups if you even want to hit.
Well, probably way more than that. Probably like
Uh,
300 or something.
I
That's
guess
like a
like, I
thing.
don't- I
If
don't
you
know
like
really the-
soloing, you want to be at the point where you're like soloing sea slime for, I don't know, probably like 6 months or something.
Yeah. But in terms of like slime ring, is it like is there any like better than settling 17 on it? Like getting 21 is kinda expensive, right? Like you need to get backups for it,
Mm-hmm.
and 19 is like, in your opinion at least, 19 is a fine enough settle for it, or it's because if it's you have already stuff that are 21 22s, then settling 19 on a ring isn't that worth, but it's still gained than 17.
Yeah, well, this one already has 33 pot, right? Usually I look at like
Yeah.
the Twilight and the... So for the... If you get the Daybreak, it's pretty easy because, you know, you could basically like 22 or 0 that one, right? So that you know if it hits, you can just swap it out, and then all of the ones after that can become fodder for Superior. That's a pretty easy one.
Okay.
For Twilight and Slime, I usually just have in my brain like the amount of backups I want for it to be reasonable. So if I have 1, I get it to 17. If I have at least 1 backup, I can try to go from 17 to 19. And that way, if it doesn't go, I stick to 17, so there's no loss. If I have 19, I want to have at least 3 backups, but probably 4 to go for 21. Usually that only is like 1 boom, but it could be 2 or 3, right?
Okay,
That way,
yeah,
the chance of me going down is pretty low, and if I do go down, I go down from 19 to 17, which isn't the worst, and then I just need 1 backup basically to try get back up to 19. But if you try and... Yeah, so usually like 17 to 19, you know, and you have 1 or 2, like you get that, you typically don't boom. 19 to 21, maybe you boom once, you know, so you probably still have 2 or 3 left at that point. And then from 21 to 22, I probably want like 5 or 6 backups. That's kind of like the numbers I have in my head. It's probably way too high to a lot of people, but I like to play it safe, you know.
yeah. I think like getting the most progression, I guess it's like playing safe, but again, if you take risk, you can get more gains, but you can lose a lot more, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, but you need backups
yeah,
to help you take risk as well. If it's
yeah,
for
that's for
Twilight,
sure.
you can do it a little bit differently. You can like alternate them. You could do it for Slime as well if you didn't have the good potentials that you do, so that you know if you end up with 2 high StarForce ones, then 1 becomes drop
Yeah.
and Mezzo. But your set is already kind of done, so it's not as
I have a,
necessary, right?
I have a question in 2 more terms,
Mm-hmm.
in like 2 more subjects. That's my pep mark, if it's even like worth to do something with it, because I guess it's one of the most useless items I can like get.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few options. I mean, if you get it to 21, then it's basically as strong as a 21 transposed one, basically, because of set bonus and flame advantage, right?
Okay.
So
Like my flame is kinda insane on it. It's 6 on, like not insane, but it's kinda good. It's 6 all set, 60 luck. So it's like,
okay, that's pretty nice. Yeah,
yeah.
you could always
Just
like try it, but it would be one of those things to kind of like try when you have the money for it.
yeah, like spending on it when you have other stuff to upgrade, it's probably like a troll
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
that point. And
Yeah, because let's say when you do get to it, now you have 2 or 3. Well, now the
Yeah.
chance actually becomes more reasonable that it is an upgrade that you're actually worth spending on rather than just something to throw money at, you know,
yeah.
as a Hail Mary.
And as well, I like my thinking right now as well. It kind of connects to my other point that Sweetwater. How does it? Is it just a waste of daily time that I can like maybe grind or do other stuff, or is it like a viable choice for me, like in terms of
For this
upgrading and
character?
doing stuff? Yeah, on this character.
For this character, you don't have any Sweetwater items right now, right?
I don't think I unlocked it even. Like
No.
didn't do nothing on it.
No, then not really. Because, I mean, you're planning to push the character way beyond where it's, like, reasonable.
Yeah.
I mostly, like, for new accounts, I like it for getting a tattoo, because you're going to be doing, like, Hard Lucid, Hard Will, 6-man parties. The chance of you getting Twilight marks is, like, just garbage. And you can get a 17-star tattoo that's way better than a condensed power crystal, like, by a lot, right?
Yeah.
And you want to get the condensed power crystal to get damage, to get drop or mezzo anyway, so you need something to do damage for a face accessory. So I like the Sweetwater tattoo a lot. And then when you do get your first Twilight, you can use the tattoo and any generos you have then to walk it up. So you can make sure that if you are risking the tattoo, like, you're not going to settle for a 17 tattoo if you have for a 17 Twilight mark if you have a 17 tattoo, but you would if you only have a condensed power crystal. But now you're stuck at 17, and it's like, are you going to do another tattoo, or are you going to walk them up? Right now it gets tricky again, because what are you going to do with your potential? But if you have a damaged tattoo and you get a Twilight, you can say, like, okay, I'm going to try to get a Twilight to 19. Before I consider working on the flame and on the potential. If it doesn't go, you keep your tattoo. If it does go, now you can say, I'm gonna try to tap the tattoo up and see if I can get that one to 19. and then maybe with backups you get it to 19. Now you can say I'm going to get my Twilight to 21. And if that one doesn't go, then you still use the Twilight to get the tattoo up from 17 to 19 at a lower risk. Because you had an alternative. So that way you can just use them to get them up. And if you end up with a 21 Twilight and the tattoo booms, and or you don't have enough dineros, then you upgrade it from a 17 tattoo to a 21 Twilight. Which basically means now if you get a Berserk, you can go 22 or nothing.
No, I see. It's okay.
So it's in a weird way you're like using Sweetwater gear to get a safer upgrade path for your pitch. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the other ones, I don't know. For pendants, I think the pendant can be useful if you get one Dom. Because then you basically can get a 21 Sweetwater, right? Just off of one Dom, whereas getting a 21 Dom off of one Dom is very, very low chance. But I think that's mostly useful if you're going to make like a low 260s like Bossing Mule in like the Hard Lotus, Hard Damien, kind of like where you're talking about with your Cane. For a Cane, you could consider the pendant. The Monocle, I basically don't consider at all anymore because Black Bean marks are so easy.
Yeah. Like
that's where I'm at.
I like had a 20 Black Bean mark. I said like if my Monocle goes, it's like 3 line. So I said like if it goes to 22, then I like use it. If not, I'm not gonna do like gonna get backups and try to push it to 22 because it's a waste of meso on my Nightload at least. So my Hoyoung, like in terms only a tattoo is a viable option in terms of Sweetwater.
Yeah, you only have a 19 Twilight mark, so
yeah, so that's and like getting a tattoo is more for like a safer option for a Zerg upgrade if it's gonna drop in the future.
Like a slow and steady, you could see if you can make a few. Then you also don't have to do like the long-term approach with leveling the boat and everything. You can just go straight for early dinero.
I don't need like the...
No, if you're only going for one piece...
Leveling?
No, you're only going for one piece, right? And maybe with like 3 or 4 backups max. So you're really looking for like 1,000 dineros. So the fastest way to 1,000 dineros would be to just do the solo voyages. Because otherwise the investment for the boat alone is already 600. So you would need to run way longer to get the value back from the investment into the boat. So you could just do the short-term approach. Get to like, is it like 750, 800 dineros or something? And that should that should be more than enough to see if you can get like a 21 tattoo, and then you can hold on to that as your damage, and then then tap berserks whenever you get them, basically.
Okay, that sounds a plan. Like if I don't need to upgrade the boat because my Nightlord has a max boat, and I remember when I did it, it was suffering to do that.
Yeah, if you're doing like multiple pieces and you're trying to get to 21 on multiple pieces and everything, then the boat makes sense if you're starting that early. So it's good to know early on which like approach you're taking. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to get like back in the day, like before the flame nerf and like before a lot of other stuff. Then Sweetwater was really meta, so because of that I had a max boat. Like for now, like in our current times, I guess getting one piece is.
Yeah, I have like 7 max boats, so I know the struggle.
Holy shit.
I did too much,
Well, in terms of investment, you can go for a lot of hard loaders mules. That's the
that's what. I'm running on 7 a week now, so we're trying to add some more.
Goddamn. I think my last thing in terms of upgrades is my secondary and emblem, because my weapon is probably I'm not gonna touch it because it's an arcane and not a libbed weapon, and it has like a if you want to say it's like has a fine potential in my opinion, like a 40 boss 20% damage.
Your like, WC is totally fine.
So in terms like I just feel you see there's like in the bossing setup it's really good. I'm pretty sure if you go lower or it's in the farming setup, my farming emblem and my damage emblem is a 21. Like I don't know how much damage, like the 9% damage is in terms of
Right. Yeah. It's like you can't look at the attack increase on the window because it's very misleading.
Yeah, that's my problem. That's what my like. If there's any reason for me, like for my secondary, I guess there's no really reason to like right now, like trying to get a 33% or like a 30% a secondary because like I have a good bossing one and I have enough damage to one-shot mobs. And like 21% damage is fine, but my emblem is like, you know, I don't know if it's a damage gain or should I just keep using my 21 attack? Because you know, you see like
The
the
21
damage ranges
attack
is
with the IED will give you way more damage on bossing, but it'll look like
low in
it's
terms of farming, I mean. Because bossing I
yeah, it's
know.
probably also stronger for training, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
you can
should I
roll
just
the
keep
emblem.
re-rolling cubes on it? Like if I get
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah, the
not
damage is
keeping like
just like fake
21%.
basically.
Okay, I see. Okay,
Because
okay.
like the way you can kind of like try to remember is basically like a 40% boss line is like kind of close to 13% attack, right? Or 12 or 13, and a 30% boss line is basically like around 9 to 10 attack. They're like roughly similar, right? And
Okay.
20% damage is basically like 20% boss damage. So it's basically like half of a prime
Oh,
line. So
okay.
it's probably closer to like 6 or 7% attack. So if you
I
can
see. So
replace that
it's
by
like
12,
yeah.
then it's just going to
Okay.
be an upgrade. Yeah.
Okay.
It's because
Okay.
yeah,
I
it
see.
shows the stat window that it shows you the damage range is like the pre-change. What you could technically do if you're mobbing is if you look at your stat window and you hover over the damage range, you will see on the bottom default, so that's what it compares to, and then you can also see normal enemy and boss
And boss, yeah.
damage range. So if you take the normal enemy range with one versus the normal enemy range with the other one, it's slightly more accurate for your mobbing, but you have to make sure that your hyperstat, your legion, that everything is also set because your
Well,
damage
I
total is
used like
getting diluted.
in terms of like hyperset, I'm using every time like I get a lot of points or from hyperset from leveling. I use the like I forgot the optimizer.
Yeah.
So like I guess it's the most optimized I can get it. Like
Well, I'm just mentioning it because when you switch those, your normal monster damage goes up, and that means that the damage percent in the emblem will be more accurate
yeah.
in terms of
So
how much damage it gives you.
yeah. So the ID gives me like in normal damage than the like the 21 damage one. The other emblem like in about 120 more K damage. In normal and bossing it's for sure better, so I'm not
Yeah.
looking at that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in terms like the 21 attack, then like it's fine keeping it for now, right, with the 9 damage, because it's like a decent enough secondary for
Oh, the secondary. Yeah.
doing other stuff.
No, yeah,
Because
that's totally fine. Totally fine for
like
mobbing. Yeah.
yeah, so like okay, so only the emblem I can swap it out and try to get a better one.
Yeah, you could do that.
And another thing about Meg Souls, should I chunk Meg Souls at my arcane weapon, or is it like because I'm so close to starting leaping and all that, should I just like
Oh yeah, no, I
all
would
my
use
Meg
Maxels.
Souls?
I would
Yeah,
use Maxels on
okay.
here, yeah. Because you're close to starting. It could be another month before you even get like practice and get even a party together, and then another 8 months. So you could use it for 9 months probably, right? So I
Yeah,
think that's worth
yeah,
more than a lot. Because you really only want to use Max Souls on basically only on like maybe high star Absolab weapons on like 20 or 21 Absolab weapons or something on boss mules, but I've started to walk that one back in terms of viability just because the arcane weapon is so much better base stats. But you basically
yeah.
would just only use it on arcanes, so it takes a while to get to an arcane. And if for your bossing builds, I don't know if you have time for it, but what I like to do is when I'm doing the bosses, I always try to do like normal Queen, normal Valum, and normal Magnus as well while I'm there anyway. And then I get just a little bit of extra souls every week, and then add it
I
up
see.
during an event that actually can be just a few extra attempts, right? And extra few
Yeah,
chances. Because, you have the shards, and then you have to get a Magnificent, and then you have to roll what you want. It could very easily take like 5, 6, or 7 souls to get what you want, which means that's times 20, so that's like 100, 120, 140 souls that you have to click during an event to even get it, which means that's anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,400 soul shards, per weapon to get like a decent soul on it. So,
yeah.
yeah, a little bit extra every week, and then over a long period of time, you'll have a lot more
It's
attempts.
gonna accumulate. Yeah. Mostly I do like all the SS Max Souls are like only I do it on my Hoyoung and my Nightlord because of the drop rate. So like it's kind of more worth for me in terms of like they have more drop rate, then it's more chance of getting more like shards in that. And I'm not really doing it on boss mules in terms like of dailies. I'm more doing it like as weeklies, like CRAs and all that, then I get souls from it, like shards. I will consider it if I like have extra time in the day. If I
Mhm.
like feel not grinding more than like if I get the
Yeah, you're already
8 hour
grinding a lot,
mark and feel like I don't want it anymore, then I'm just gonna do the dailies. Cause
Okay.
so I wasted a bit of time of it, but most of the anniversary I did like 11 mules capping, like coin capping.
That's so
So
much.
so I bought all the coin shop in terms like of flames, and like in terms of getting other stuff, like cosmetics in my opinion and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last question, because it's getting like late in terms of before
Yeah.
reset, and I know you didn't do your
Yeah, I want to get
dailies,
those
and
dailies done, yeah.
you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You can't skip dailies. Like I was in Japan for like 3 weeks in March, and
Mm-hmm.
I s- like I bought my laptop and everything, and I had wife and all that, but I was so tired that I missed like 3 weeks of capping like
Yeah,
dailies and doing like 6 job
that
progressions.
adds
So
up. 3 weeks adds up a
it's
lot, yeah.
yeah. But like I'm not gonna complain about it because 3 weeks in terms of like a year or 2 years of progression, then it's not
Yeah,
that
that's no
much.
big deal for sure.
So the last thing after like do your dailies is should I keep rolling the flame on my arcane weapon? Because if a mag soul is worth it, should I try
6 and 5.
keep
You have
getting
6
a
and 5
better
now, right?
uh
Tier 6 attack,
what
tier 5
six?
boss.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tier 6 attack and 10 boss. Yeah, it's like
Five,
tier
5
5.
boss with and a little bit of luck as well. I mean, it's kind of like, here's the problem. Like that's kind of like towards what I would say is like the minimum for an arcane, but it's also pretty
Yeah,
close to what is reasonably
decent.
reasonable for an arcane. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a really narrow window where if you have much less than that, then you probably eventually want to roll over that. Like the very lowest I would say to keep on arcane is probably like tier 6 attack and like 8% boss or something, like 8% total
Yeah.
damage. That's probably the bare minimum. But if you have 10 and you have some luck, the very next step up from that is a lot more
Gold stat,
money.
I guess. Yeah, like getting gold stat on it, or even like tier 6.
Yeah, or like 12% damage, but then you need both of the damages to hit. Like that immediately it becomes a
Yeah,
lot more
yeah,
expensive.
like a lot more
Or tier
investment.
7 with like black flames, right? So that's probably what you want to do is if you have like a lot of black flames and your other arcane flames are a little bit higher, because I thought like
Oh
your cape is
yeah,
still pretty bad, that you start using Eternals on there to see if you can heat a 7 with something. But I wouldn't throw money at it, basically.
yeah. Money, I'm surely not gonna throw. I'm just
Yeah.
most of my flames are event flames. I think at the most of my account flames, like
Mm-hmm.
on my Night Lord and my Hoyoung are event flames. I never bought red flames and tried to get like good flames on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if like my arcane weapon is decent, is like not settling, but trying to get like more than 130 on my arcanes, more important in terms of flames, like min-maxing flames on my arcanes. Because most of them
130.
are 130, like my boot is 132, I'm pretty sure from the calculate. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
about like a 130 and above, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and the
So you
glove as
see, like,
well.
yeah.
I mean,
So
it's
most of
basically
them
only
are
your
like,
cape. You just want to bring the cape up to like up to that point, like
oh,
130-ish.
oh my bad, my cape is not updated. It's 4 all stat, 5 attack, and 91 luck. So
Oh,
that's
okay, so it's already there as
so
well. Yeah,
it's
then those
yeah,
are
yeah.
fine. There you go.
Oh, it's fine keeping them. It's not like
Yeah, I
worth
mean
to
the glove is
min-max
like
them.
around 140. This is just the point. Like, if you look at the flame score for everything, right? If you compare it to like the progression grid, and you have a
Yeah.
lot of flames that you get from an event or something, and there's not really anything that needs flames, then you could just ruin one of your items' flames and just keep redoing it until it hits like the higher number that you're looking for, until it like
Yeah.
catches up to something. Or what I like to do a lot as well is just start looking at like flame advantage items on side characters and just bringing those up a little bit more. Bringing like all of the CRA up to
So
like 75 or something. Bring arcanes
yeah,
up to
so
80, something like that.
that what like I did the last event, because after I rolled most of my stuff on my Hoyoung, I felt like
Mhm.
because of the low flame that I had, like I had 80 black flames and like 100 rainbows, that
Mhm.
hitting above 130 is possible, but I felt like statistically from like what I did, like what from what I checked, is a lot like higher than like 80 black flames. So I said like let's chug it on a mule and on my Night Lord if he has like trying to get the Zerk maybe to a higher
Yeah, yeah, Zerg,
like
something like that. Mhm.
something like that to a maybe potential easier upgrade. And I feel like my CRAs are in the fine spot in the term, like you said in the progression sheet. It's like 1664,
That's totally
and my
fine. Yeah. Mhm.
and like 1660, and I have my pens is as well like 1664. They're
Yeah.
like not a big like the
No, they're
best
good.
flames, but
No, they're good.
they're fine as in like
All
in
the way
my
up until Eternal, you don't have to do anything with those anymore. They're
oh
totally
okay, I
fine.
see. Then okay,
Yeah, if they're
that's
like
really good
over
to know.
110, then you're golden. These are like 120, 125, so you're
Oh,
definitely more than good on that. Yeah.
okay, I see. That's really good.
Yep.
I guess my Golox is like fine. Like I have 2% all stat, 32 luck on my
Mhm.
superior pendant.
Yeah.
I
Anything
don't
like
know if it
45 to 50, anything with like 45 plus, honestly, is like more than good enough. If you have 4 all
and
stat and a little bit of something, then you're like
what you
that's
think
fine
about
enough too.
3 all stat and nothing? Like my belt has 3 all stat and nothing. Should I maybe try to chug on it? But or is it like
Well,
fine
you're
to
gonna try
keep
to
because
do
it's
another belt, right? So
yeah,
after you do the new belt, you can just cube on that one.
I
I
see.
would like
Okay,
use all
okay.
the red ones you get from like if it's red flames, I would use those like red flames you get from event. If you
Mm-hmm.
get eternals from event, then I would use them on like something arcane, something pitch, or
Yeah,
maybe
okay. Yeah.
long term on boss mules, something like that on side character. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's black flames, it's basically always on weapon or on main characters. Well,
Gear,
Eternals,
like
or
main,
but
like
like Arcanes
yeah,
and Pitch basically. That's the
yeah,
only
yeah.
place you really
Okay,
want to use
okay.
those. Yeah.
Okay, don't want to take too much time of your like like
Yeah, really?
before reset. Then only like last question about the like
Yeah.
Monster Park badge. Is it a keep? Is it a sell? Like I gain a bit of start from it, but
Oh,
I really don't know about like
I've had a few. I just always sell. The set bonus, like if you have, you're gonna keep the cup for a while. You're gonna keep a dominator for a while. So you're gonna get the 3 set anyway with the Ventus, right?
yeah,
So it's I think with the Ventus it's actually a little bit better than if you want. So then you lose a little bit of damage once you get like a book drop, right? Or like one of the pieces
yeah.
change. But that change at that point I don't think is ever worth the mezzo. You can keep it if you like how it looks, but it's a pretty nice chunk of mezzo. It's like up to you personally if you like to keep it as like a collector's item. But
I
I
see.
think it's totally fine to just sell it if you just you think
Yo,
the
yo,
money
three
would be.
bill is my daily income.
It's
Yo,
yeah,
it's
it's good
not it's
money.
no joke. You
No,
know, it's
exactly. I sold like 3 of them
so
so far. That's over 10 bill. Like yeah, I'll
yeah,
take that money,
free
dude.
ten.
No.
Yeah, yeah, that's insane. Because of that, I'm asking. Because if it isn't like a really end game in like in terms
No,
of
no. I mean, some people will
any
do like
badges,
buying,
yeah,
yeah, the other pieces to make like the connection badge, but the real thing is like that's kind of okay to do because of like the IED, but the set bonus for the pitch is just so much better, so it just doesn't make much
yeah,
sense. Plus, we have so much IED in the late game and in the end game because of we've got just all of the party buffs going on. Most people are bossing in the end game with like 99+% effective IED, so
yeah, yeah.
it's just not necessary.
I feel you. Like the only like thing I thought about is the ID as well because I still don't have the monster pack badge. Like n- n- I don't have neither of like the days and like I don't have the overall. Like the 7-day monster parker.
Hmm.
But in terms of like ID, even without the like 10 ID that I get on Friday, then I'm still golden in terms like I'm getting 95 ID.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just like your personal. As soon as you add a bishop, you add another 40%. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, okay, then I'm just gonna sell it before SSF and fuck it. Tap
Hmm.
more, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I think I wasted enough of your time in terms like I talked a lot of gear.
Yeah. Well, I
Um,
think we got through everything at least, so you can
yeah,
make sure
yeah.
that
I'm
nothing's missing.
Yeah, it's nothing missing because I talked about like flames went out of my head and I remember the the last second about flames. So yeah,
Hmm.
like Legion, I said it's a semi project and other stuff like crafting and traits. I guess it's like just getting everything max and all that.
Yeah. There's no. I mean, yeah, you don't even have to max everything, but
Yeah,
because
but
accessory
in terms
crafting
of
is not as useful anymore. But I mean, it doesn't decay anymore, so that's fine. But for smithing,
yeah,
yeah, you can
yeah,
keep the buff up. Accessory crafting buff doesn't really seem to do much, but maybe that would be use for it in the future. You never know. So it's
maybe
good
yeah.
to
I
have it.
just made it for his Meister backups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it in terms like of gear progression because like I know what to do with Hexa and all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think in terms of gear, I guess it's fine. And like I said, I'm gonna try to find a BM Stargirl BM part in like a bit post Dreamer, like in Dreamer, sorry, not post Dreamer, and try to start libbing. Yeah, I think that's it. If I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and Saren but yeah, like maybe Saren and Carlos comes from the people that you do BM
yeah,
with, right? If you
yeah,
find some nice people, just make sure that if you do a lot of like pickup group stuff, just try to see if there's some people that are like communicating well, that seem like they really want it, like they're on the same level as where you're at in terms of how much time they want to put in, and just try to like chat with them a little bit, see if you can add them to the buddy list. We also have room in the guild Discord. I don't know if you've checked there for like the separate bosses. You can always post in there to see if you're looking for a party, see if there's someone else also looking for a static party. It can be hard to find people, in the same. So
yeah,
if you're actively looking for a party,
same.
just look in a lot of different places, and yeah, but like a static duo for C10A or something that's really solid. Even though my characters can technically solo, it just takes forever. So like a duo just makes way more sense in terms of like
Yeah.
saving time and still have a reasonable chance of pitches.
Well, if there's any bishes in chat that want to do free,
Spare bishops. I'm sure bishops are
spare
all super
bishops.
free. Nobody has anything.
Super free. They're the most non-OP class in the game, and they're
Yeah,
just looking for parties.
they get overlooked for parties. So if you're a struggling bishop trying to find a party, David will pick you up out of the
I
mercy
will
of his
carry you.
heart.
Don't worry. I will
Yeah,
carry
he'll
you
carry you.
with my struggle damage. Well, thanks for the session, Scar. As
Yep.
always. I'm maybe gonna ask more questions like post streamer in the chat for like
Yeah, for sure.
after like I get more upgrades and all that. But
Mhm.
for now, I think I'm done in terms of like knowing where to go and what to do.
Yep.
So that's it. Thank you for your time and for the session. See you in chat and have a nice stream.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Peace.
welcome.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Uh,
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good luck
Bye
as well
bye.
in daily. See ya. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. All right. So yeah, there was a lot of we had a lot of different topics that we covered there. So hopefully there was something useful there for the people watching and listening at home as well. If you're on YouTube, hopefully that was somewhat relatable in some situations. If you have some follow-up questions, let me know in the chat. Also, keep an eye out for the post soon. We're nearing the middle of the month, so the post soon on if you want one of these sessions as well. If you reply to that community post, you might get picked to win the next day, so keep your eyes on that. And yeah, for any other questions, you can use the commands that we have over in the chat. We didn't use them for this session very much, but I have a lot of commands in my chat over at Twitch that you can use, and there you can get answers, or at least starting answers to any question you really might have. And that can save you a lot of time in terms of research, in terms of maybe conflicting opinions that you can gather. Yeah, so if you like the session, I'm glad. If you want one of these, check the description. You can also buy my time and get these sessions as well for yourself. You could do them privately as well if you don't want them to be public. That's all possible. And if you are a subscriber, you can also request them with the channel points just by watching my stream. That's what I mainly do. I'm over at twitch.tv/Scardor. So feel free to drop by, to use the commands, to just chat, to ask any questions. We have a lot of helpful people that are super nice. You can see them flipping you off in the chat right now. And you can, you can join the gang and flip it yourself off in the future, or other people who haven't made the switch yet. And, but yeah, I'm hoping that you enjoyed something of the video, at least got some entertainment out of it. Maybe were able to pass some commute to work or anything that you're doing during this time. And I'll catch you on the next video, which should appear somewhere on screen or something. Maybe there's a playlist there for something to click. Or I'll see you live over at Twitch. Thanks for watching. See you then. Bye.